Alright guys, I actually don't have the fan on this time, so hopefully we get a little bit better audio quality. But this is going to be a game against Raphael, and so start out with the Darkrai, not the most ideal starter. But I do have a Juniper in my hand, so I know I can bounce back pretty easily. There are a number of things I could do with this hand. I kind of want an energy though. Just because, you know, then you could discard it with computer search, maybe search out like the Sableye and Dark Patch, attach it, and then Juniper, hopefully get another energy, retreat to the Sableye, so I can start setting up that turn 2 Night Spear. But then he decides to end me, and he also has a Darkrai out and a Mewtwo, so I'm like, okay, you know, a Mewtwo deck. But he also revealed that he had an Articuno, which is kind of a really weird tech, and then he has a Snorlax too. And Snorlax's ability is really good. Block, it doesn't let him retreat. So right now, if he retreats his Snorlax, I'm stuck with poison damage. But thankfully, he doesn't retreat. And I get an energy. I also have an energy search in my hand. So I'm going to throw the Burbank City Gem out. I know I'm going to be taking extra damage, but I'm planning on playing an N. So I'm hopefully just going to get another Pokemon. I'll be able to retreat, and the extra damage won't actually matter. But I kind of want to get something besides an N, just so I, you know, don't necessarily have to play it. But it looks like I am going to have to play the N. So I am going to throw that Burbank City Gym down, and I'm going to play the Energy Search to get out, well, an energy. And I'm mostly playing that to get that into the discard pile. I really want Sableye to be able to search for that, and hopefully I'll, you know, get like a energy switch off of the N and Sableye, so I can start using Sableye. And I don't get anything. I mean, I get a Juniper, which will be nice for next turn, but yeah, consider playing the catcher there, but I really don't want to catcher out that Snorlax, because once I'm stuck in there, you know, he's just going to stay in there until he dies. And yeah, Snorlax can really put the hurt on. Now, it's almost like he's playing, I don't know, trying to keep your opponents in battle. So it's kind of weird, because, you know, like Articuno paralyzes and stuff. I just think it's really weird that he hasn't switched to that Snorlax to lock me in with the poison, because then I'll be taking, well, now 60 damage counters per turn. And that's a 3-turn knockout, and that's without attacking at all. So, yeah, if he switches to Snorlax, I'm in a lot of trouble, but he didn't last turn, so maybe he won't this turn. It's really kind of a strange deck, you know. I guess he plays Darkrai for the free retreat, and then it's just a colorless deck? I don't know. Articuno's in there to help out Snorlax, I guess. Snorlax is, it's just a weird card. You know, its attack costs 5 energy. It's really good if you have all the plasma people out. But the issue is, that's hard to do, and like here, he has, you know, 2 Darkrai's and a Mewtwo that aren't plasma, so that's only going to be doing 60 for 5 energy. That's a little bit ridiculous, but he's got a good ability. And there he played a Colress, so I mentioned earlier that I don't really like Colress, and this is why. He only got to draw 4 cards off that, because I didn't have any bench Pokemon, so it's really not good early game. Mid-game, it can be good, just depending on how fast people set up, things like that. And end-game, it just depends on, you know, whether they're set up or not. So, it's really too situational, I think. I mean, Skyla is also situational, but not quite to that extent. Now, I am going to be able to Dark Patch here onto the Sableye. Thankfully, you know, I can retreat. And he actually did retreat, but he retreated to his Darkrai, so that was disappointing. Well, not disappointing, I was rather excited, but, you know, I really would like to see top-level play, and I'm just, you know, kind of wondering why he hasn't switched to that Snorlax to lock me in, but I got out of it, and here I'm going to just Junk Hunt. I really want to get that Night Spear set up next turn. I have an energy in my hand, so I should be able to do it. And I don't have any other energy in my discard pile, so I could grab a Dark Patch, but the problem is I have no way to get other energy into my discard pile, and I play 4 Dark Patch, so at this point I don't really need an extra Dark Patch, so I end up not going for that. I already have the energy. I grab a random receiver just because I had to discard a couple of supporters with my Juniper. I want the extra supporters in there if I get end and random receivers as close as I can get to the supporter. So I grabbed that and the catcher just because, well, catcher's going to be pretty valuable. My plan here is to just retreat to the Darkrai, maybe catch out that Snorlax, and then use N and hopefully KO that Snorlax because it's starting to look kind of scary. I believe it has 3 energy on it right now, and 2 or 3. And he can also like energy switch onto that, and if Snorlax gets set up, he can be pretty scary just because of his block ability, and you know, if you combine that with his attacking, I already have a significant amount of damage. He just Hypnotoxics me, and I'm in trouble. But that's kind of my thought process at this point, is I just want to knock out Snorlax. So yeah, I'm not sure what's happening here. If he's just thinking, or he attaches a Dark Claw, which I was kind of surprised. You know, he runs a Eviolite Dark Claw split. I mean, if you aren't playing all Darks, Dark Claw is iffy. It's really good if you're playing Darkrai though. And here, I've made a huge mistake. I play catcher, and then I'm like, oh wait, I can't retreat. So I play the Hypnotoxic just to kind of poison him, and I still will end. But now I got to figure out a way to get out of there. You know, hopefully he just takes it, and I'm really in trouble here. I'm looking for that retreat button, and pretty soon I realize I did it in the wrong order, and that's just killer. You know, it was some of those things. I knew what I was going to do, and I just mixed up the order of things. So I'm stuck junk hunting here, which could really cost me. But I did poison the Snorlax, so he at least has to get it out of battle. He can do that with the Dark Energy, but then he can't get it back into battle. So I know that next turn I can get my Darkrai into battle and start doing things to mess him up. So that's kind of the goal at this point. But yeah, really slow start for me. I was really disappointed. He really could have put the hurt on had he thrown the Snorlax out there earlier in the game. But it also would have made him vulnerable because, you know, I could have dropped like a Sableye, discard an energy, Dark Patch, energy switch, and then attach another energy. And then I could have responded, but, you know, I didn't have it. So, I mean, I can understand him not doing it, just wanting to save that Snorlax. But at the same time, you know, Snorlax isn't going to be dealing out a lot of damage. Right now he only does 90. That's the same that that Darkrai does. So Darkrai would definitely be the better choice. He also has that Mewtwo there. Had he invested the 5 energy it takes for Snorlax's attack on the Mewtwo, that's 100 damage plus whatever I have. So if I have a Darkrai out there with 3 energy, that's going to do 140 damage, which is just 2 energy away from a knockout. But yeah, I guess it's just a Snorlax based deck, you know. Not the best of decks, but I'm sure with all the Hypnotoxics, Snorlax could be pretty good. So I go grab an energy just because I want to discard it and then Dark Patch it to start setting up that those other Darkrai's. I am going to grab the Tool Scrapper because I really want to take out that Eviolite on Snorlax so I can KO it. And this is kind of a glitch in the game. I've had this happen before, and it was actually on a Garbodor, where it shows the energy, and it doesn't let you discard the tool because it thinks you're clicking an energy, but the tool just doesn't show. I'm really upset that they haven't, fixed that. That was weird. The energy just flickered, but or the power. So, yep, just Dark Patching onto the Darkrai. Really doesn't matter which one. I have the Sableye. If they want to catch or stall me, I can just use Keldeo, not Sableye, Keldeo, to get out of that pinch. And I always want to check my deck, just make sure I'm not getting too far down. So, and unfortunately here, I wasn't able to discard that EVO Light, so just gonna have to Night Spear for 90, and then he'll take the 30 damage from poison. I really kind of want to put it on an Articuno because I think that's what he's going to go out with next. I think Darkrai is just in there for the retreat. He's not actually in there for attacking. But I go with the Mewtwo just to kind of set that up later. I want to make it so that if he attacks with Articuno, I can knock them both out in short order. But the thing is, he's really invested into the Snorlax here. He has like 5 energy, I think, now, so he will be able to attack. But he will also die from poison damage if he attacks. So, but then again, if he doesn't attack, I'll be able to just KO it and with the Night Spear's bench damage. So he's really in a tight spot. He's put way too many energies on that Snorlax. It's gonna go bye-bye, and Snorlax can be really good if you really invest into him, but unfortunately, he has 3 non-plasma Pokemon out. It's not going to do 180 damage, and with Deoxys not out yet, Snorlax is it's not very good. But once Deoxys comes out, it's a nice add. You can trap him with Hypnotoxic, as I mentioned earlier, and you can actually deal out like 200 damage pretty easily. So, I was planning on him knocking out my Darkrai anyway. So I just sent him my other Darkrai. Now I will be able to, Night Spear again. I'm considering whether I want to just like catch out that Mewtwo and Hypnotoxic it and then KO it. Or I could also do that to like an Articuno and see if I can just trap it and then kill it with bench damage. And maybe get 2 EX knockouts right in a row, because I could, 30 on the Articuno on the bench, I'm sorry, catch her out, 30 to the Mewtwo, 30 to the Articuno with Hypnotoxic plus the 110, puts that 140, and then I catch her out the Mewtwo, and then just Night Spear, KOing the Mewtwo, and then with the bench damage, KOing the Articuno. But, who knows, he might play Super Scoop Up, he might play Max Potion, so you never want to try to set those up too much, because they always come back to bite you. In a game I played the other day against a Blastoise deck, he used 2 Super Scoop Ups, and he actually made one mistake. He meant to put down the Mewtwo, so he could Super Scoop Up, grab the Mewtwo, put it back down, Super Scoop Up again, grab the other Mewtwo, and push the other Mewtwo out, but he ended up having to get stuck with the Squirtle. Not sure it made a big difference, but it's little things like that can really cost you. Or like even with my Snorlax thing, you really can't afford to make those kind of silly little mistakes. They can really come back to bite you. So he scours for a Pokemon catcher here. I don't know if he's trying to trap out my Keldeo or what, but it seems like that's what he's trying to do. He figures maybe he could set up a Articuno if he can just KO that Keldeo. And really all I need to do is have a Dark Energy to get that Darkrai back out there. But I have a double energy switch, but I'm just going to take it off the Sableye. Really don't think I'll need Sableye at this point. So I'll throw that out onto the Keldeo and switch to the Darkrai. And I'm just going to Night Spear. And his Mewtwo already has 60, so I know I can KO it. And I'm going to stick it on the Snorlax, just because that's going to be a lot easier to kill than the Articuno. With Snorlax, I can just Night Spear now for the win, whereas with Articuno, I would have to do a Night Spear with a Hypnotoxic, in addition to the bench damage. So now, I have the the Mewtwo setup where I can just Night Spirit, and I have the Snorlax setup where I can just Night Spirit. So he promotes the Articuno. He plays Bicycle. Yay. Gosh, Bicycle is so bad. I mean, it does have its uses, but they are way too situational for my taste. You know, maybe if you're playing 4 Ultra Balls and trying to think of what other cards discard besides Computer Search. If you use a lot of, you know, discarding cards from your hand, you could, but it's really not worth it. So Wake Up there, that really wouldn't have mattered because I could have just rushed in with Keldeo to wake me up and then retreat back. And I do have supporters to play, but I don't want to end myself. And yeah, that's the main thing. I just don't want to end myself, but I do want to kind of thin out my hand because if he ends me, you know, I might not get anything. So I'm going to discard another Ultra Ball. I really don't need them at this point. And I'm trying to think of what else I discard here. Just the Random Receiver. You know, at this point, I don't have a whole lot of supporters left. So Random Receiver just turns into a clone of those, and I don't know. I don't really need it. If I do need it, I'll just junk hunt for it. So I'm so close to setting up that other Darkrai, and I'd really like to do that because my current Darkrai, you know, could theoretically be KO'd, but I do have the Pokemon Catcher to grab the Mewtwo, so I can switch to my Darkrai and knock that out. And here's where another reason why I put the damage on the Snorlax is I could have put it on one of the Articunos, but then he could have just promoted the other one. So now that he's started to stick energy on one, I know which ones he's going with, so I'll stick damage on that. I know he's likely to push that one out, and I can just Hypnotoxic and Night Spear for the win. But here I'm really hoping he doesn't have an N. You know, if he ends me to 1 and can start using Articuno, I could be in serious trouble. You know, I don't have another Darkrai set up like I would like. I can get another Darkrai set up now, but at this point, you know, if he ends me, I'm in a lot of trouble. And that's the problem with N, is it's so powerful. But I really like it because it really it wants to make the game close. And there he concedes. So probably just because he didn't have the cards. So I won that game.